Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau, Samantha Perry with you on an absolutely another picture-perfect Wednesday afternoon. We've only got one left after today as well. The penultimate, day of Wednesday racing and the penultimate racing week before we close it all down. Curlin Florida Derby will be drawn on Saturday. That is next Saturday. Where has the time gone?
It's flown out the window, but time flies when you're having fun.
You said it, and we got another good 9-pack for you today. Of course, the Rainbow Six will start fresh today as we had a mandatory day on Sunday. And thanks to each and every one of you out there because they really did send it in. I think it certainly surpassed expectations on Sunday, close to a $1.5 million in that pool when all was said and done. But, of course, today, race number 4 will start fresh at 0, and it will build very quickly.
Yep, it always does around here.
Always does. And early pick 5 in about 56 minutes, again, on a 9-race fast and firm Wednesday card here. We'll take a look at it. I had a big late scratch that came in late for later in the card, but nothing really too much early on. And I've got a $16 early pick 5 ticket. You can see race number 2. I've got the single. That's my best bet of the day in there, the 9-horse Apocalyptic. And race number 3, we'll go with the 6-horse. That is Hollywood Mayhem. Race 4, 2 deep in there. 23 is your order. Cajun's Cookie, I could easily single that one there, but we'll double it up to make it $16 as I'll use the 3. And then in race number 5, we'll use 4 horses to hopefully get out, and it's Sheershawn. Took to the main track for Billy Therinos last time in a big way. We'll see if he can double back around facing winners today. $16 early pick 5 ticket. We'll kick it off. As I mentioned, very few scratches and changes on the card. It's always a good thing. We'll kick it off in the opener at about 12:50. We're 6 furlongs on a fast main track. 3-year-olds and up in this 12-5 maiden claimer. This one does have a scratch. The 3, Blazing Tyreek, is out of this spot here. I went 4 deep in here. How'd you see the opener?
I went to the 7.
Okay.
Yep, I went to the 7. As did you. Just a big drop in class, big jock switch here, and great post.
Yeah, yes, and yes. Irad's going to get the board. Good to see him back here. I like this post as well. Was in for a quarter last time. Was kind of a middling third.
Yeah.
Well beaten, 6 lengths, but I think we catch a group of friends today. And Showboat looks like one of the ones. Down on the inside, Sunday Songs. Got some speed down there for Gary Jackson.
Yeah, and that's going to play huge on this track here today. And it just seems like now this far into the championship, or at least this past weekend, it was hard to pass horses on this main track. So I think it's significant that he's got speed from the inside.
Yeah, and I think you can almost up the ante when you say that with a lower level claimers. These are horses that a lot of times you look at the racetrack, they get stuck in neutral out there a little bit. It's a little more difficult to pass. I want to talk Vino Grigio, the Kelly Breen Paco firster. You know, there's a lot of works. None of them are really all that special. It is a Vino Rosso, 6 furlongs on debut. If this horse can run just a little bit, going to have a big say.
Yeah, there's nothing on First TV on works on this horse. The family has not been all that great at all. So it's hard to make anything of him just on paper at least.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be even harder when we get towards post time. He's sitting up there at 5-2. He's 3-1 on the morning line. It's Paco. It's Kelly Breen. They're going to bet. I don't think it's going to tell you anything.
No, that's so true.
51.50 at 0 for 26 actually fits in here, and you can look at him and remember Sean Sheen a little bit later on, who we'll talk about. He's the 4. Race number 2 kicks off the early pick 4 at 7.5 furlongs on the turf, and what's a 17.5 maiden claimer. 4 fillies, 3-year-olds here. Scratch the 7 Grand Sticker, scratch the 12 Miss Banks. The 11 Starlight Luna draws in and will run. Take a look at Samantha's early pick 4 ticket now.
Yeah, it's an $18 play here. I'm spreading in this race. Race number 3, I have the 4 on top. That's Noble Force. Race number 4, I've got the 7 Our Money Moves. And in race 5, I'm just going to single the 3 Fredericksburg here on the cutback for George Weaver and Irad Ortiz. An $18 play for me.
Yeah, I can see it for sure. Wow, you don't have my best bet in here. All right, we're going to start with you then in race number 2.
Miss Apocalyptic.
And you're going to go with the 6 in all probability, who I've had a best bet, I think, on more than one occasion. And She's still trying to break through.
Yeah, I don't like this race at all,
Yeah.
to be honest. Or I don't like any of the runners in this race. But if anything, it's just a slight drop in class here. It just has been slowly going down the ladder. Dylan Davis gets aboard here today. This race is what it is, and there's just not much to it, but has a little bit of speed, so that helps, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. And you're going to get better than the 8 to 5s that she's lost at in the past, and that's because the 9 is Apocalyptic, and it's Kent Sweezy, and it's Irad Ortiz Jr. The blinkers are going to go on a huge drop. This is my best bet of the day, and it's not a good sample. It's not a big sample though, but I don't care right now with Kent Sweezy.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? He's just doing everything so well.
Yeah, I just don't like the comeback this quick, especially with the grass horse. I know she's a cheap grass horse, but still.
Yeah, it's, she just ran last week, so we'll see what we get there. But I think on the drop and getting back to turf maybe as well. Yeah, Miss Paola, that's not a bad turf race, 2 back for Miss Paola.
No, it isn't. And did you try her last time, or was
I tried her 2 back.
2 back, yeah. Okay, and she ran okay.
Ran
she's not great either. But again, against this group today, she looks like she could be second or third.
Yeah, I agree. And the Hall of Famer John Velasco was aboard last time, and a no-show on the Tapeta is going to get back aboard. And like I said, that turf race definitely and puts her in the mix against a group like this. When Apocalyptic is 2-1, and in all probability is 7-2, you're allowed to think outside the box if you want. Race number 3 will go on the Tapeta here at 5 furlongs in what is a 17.5 claimer for just 3-year-olds in this spot. A clean field of 6, and we'll start it with you with the newcomer, kind of the fresh new face. That's Noble Force.
Yeah, the debut was really, really impressive last year at Monmouth. Then came back in a spot at Delaware that was just, maybe he's just on that type of class. Who knows? It was a little bit of time between drinks and a very just spotty race record altogether with this horse. But now we're going to drop down to the very, very bottom, get Lasix on for the first time. These are sharp connections here, and I like the fact that we get back to the 5 furlong sprinting.
Yeah, it's 7 furlongs. Cool Intentions and Rolando, who won the Hutchison the other day. That's not what this horse wants to do. We'll see. Has worked relatively consistently since being pulled up in that race in early December. Let's take a look. I had nothing clever in here. 4 of these horses ran against each other on February 19th, and Hollywood Mayhem, that to me is pretty much the only horse I want out of this race. He's going to beat Western Shaft when they ran 2-3. Yeah,
Hollywood Mayhem ran really well off the claim last time, and I think after 2 wins in a row and going away from Jose D'Angelo, and the Guadalupe Preciado barn has not had the strongest championship meet, that there were some maybe hesitations coming back to this horse a little bit, but they bet him this day, and he ran really, really well here. Yeah,
if you want to nitpick, you had the winner, I think, actually, and he ran really Carconi.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and ran well. I met Steve Owens the other day, nice guy, and he's come down from Woodbine this winter for, I'd say, with the most stock he's had, and he's had a very, very good winter, and now we're off the claim. It's not a move the barn does at all, really. 0 for 1 is the only stat we have, but this is a horse in form, and the post position is perfect, too.
Yeah, great post position.
Yeah, exactly. Thunder Cane was in that mix, as is the 3 Coaster to the Moon, but you just saw it there. Red Candy Apple down on the inside, it has speed, just convincingly beat Maiden Claimers for Leon McCandless.
Yeah, and it's not a bad spot, but you're coming into an open 17.5. But I will say this, outside of the 6, everybody is a non-winners of 2.
Yeah,
so.
And this is a good horse for Rajiv Mirage to get aboard because, when Raj was at the top of his game, he was as good a speed rider as there was, and we've seen him deliver a couple crafty rides on the front end, too. So if this horse breaks running, I think Red Candy Apple is going to be on the lead. What happens late remains to be seen. 3 down, 6 to go on a 9-race Wednesday card. Again, when we come back, the Rainbow Six will start anew today after the big mandatory day on Sunday. Ronnie's got the ticket. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to drf.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau, Samantha Perry with you on another just picture perfect Wednesday afternoon in Hallandale Beach. We're not going to be able to say that much longer. We've got one more Wednesday after today. It's Hot Dog Wednesday. Come on out and see us. It's dinner, right?
Yeah, it is. Our dinner.
Nothing to scoff at. We love our hot dogs here. We'll talk about it later, but you bet $10, you get a free hot dog. What more can you ask? Ronnie's off today, but he's got updated tickets and all that good stuff, and including the Rainbow Six here in race number 4 as the pool will start anew today at about 2:26 in the p.m. Here's the old standard 43:20 for Ron.
It's the playbook play here as we start a new race 5. Franks Mimi, Fredericksburg, and Sir Showen. A pretty competitive race. Race 6, Rocket Dragon. I'm glad he's got this horse in the mix as well as 3-0. That's a single for me. 3-0 is race number 7. He's got Sneak Preview and Lean Music Machine. Race 8, a little bit of some coverage there. Old Chestnut, Catamosto, and Seaver. And in race number 9. Majesty Stong, and British Empress for Lauren Robson. So 43:20 is the play. It's a tough closing race today.
I agree totally in that finale. That's a spot you could go any number of different ways. And British Empress for Lauren Robson is going to be a pretty decent little price in there in the finale. But let's start it out here. In race number 4, 12-5 maiden claimers, 3-year-olds go at it here. 5 furlongs on the Tapeta. Scratch out the long shot, the 8 Virgin Island Nice. And we'll start with you. Our Money Moves. Actually, Our Money Moves and Mega Don went at it last time, and I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, well, we'll pull up the replay then because Our Money Moves is going to cut back a half furlong, which is huge here. Now, where Mega Don is, you do not want to be in these Tapeta races, but lo and behold, there he was. And Our Money Moves is exactly where you want to be here. But it's hard to go gate to wire in these 5 furlong sprints sometimes, I feel like, especially it just depends on how the Tapeta's playing. I'm going to take the words out of your mouth possibly here with you're supposed to win from here.
The only thing I'm going to nitpick is I had this horse on the one path the entire way around, and you can just see him hit the quick stand there. You talking to 3, Our Money Moves?
Yes. Yeah, you don't want to be right there either. Nope. So, look, he's got speed, and now we're on the outside.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing for me. We're on the outside today, and that's really important because now theoretically he can dictate instead of having taken all the worst of it there. I don't really want to talk speed figures on the Tapeta, but the 2 Cajuns cooking just lays over this field.
Yeah.
At least on paper.
On paper, yeah. They're going to bet this horse, and he's probably the likeliest winner. I just don't trust him.
Yeah, I guess not. You don't know him in the top 4. He could be 2-5 in this race.
Yeah.
If they really bet him. He's supposed to win. We'll see. You could have said that 2 starts back, and he didn't. Colin Mirage has had a really, really strong year, and here's Raj again.
Yep.
Riding. This is a horse I would think he's, put him in the race in the last 2 starts. He's going to be a short number. Doesn't have to win, but at least on paper. How about this kind of newcomer now over from Tampa for Gary Contessa? He's going to run a couple horses this week. That's cool to see, the one, But Now Am Found.
Yeah, it has speed from the rail here, so this is going to be a very aggressive sin mission, I could imagine, especially being on the rail draw and especially with Paco Lopez aboard here. Look, this horse has shown 2-turn speed. That 21-3 on the Tampa grass course, that's quick.
Yeah, that's wildly quick, and you're not booking Paco to take back either.
No.
This horse is going today. We'll see if that translates to the Tapeta.
Right.
Race number 5, we'll go flat 1-turn mile on what is a fast main track. These are 12-5, 2 L's here, 3-year-olds and up. Clean field of 7. Samantha's got the late pick 5. We'll take a look at it now.
Yeah, and it's a sequence that I'm going to start off pretty thin with here. I've got the 3 singled Fredericksburg, and race 6, 3-0 is my best bet. Race number 7, there's a little bit of a spread for me here. I do have 3 Fort Sam on top. And in race number 8, I've got the 4, If Not For Luck. Was going to be a long shot, is not going to be. So let's take that out, everybody. Race number 9, the finale, the 5 on top for me. Park Avenue, Betty, first time for Danny Gargan.
I think Fort Sam is very live today.
I think so, too.
For sure, for Dave Fox on the comeback. Let's start it out, though, in race number 5. We'll start with you. Your top pick, Fredericksburg, was in sort of a bit of a match race last time,
Yes.
and he took to the main track and got the job done. Now we're going to cut back to one turn and looking to double up for Weaver and Irad.
Yeah, hard to beat, hard to come back when you just beat maiden claimers and then face non-winners of 2. But I love the cutback in distance, and he liked the dirt last time out. He's fit, and I think he should like the cutback even more now.
Yeah, I think I say what you just said all the time. It is difficult to face winners.
Yeah.
But I feel like the 2 maiden claiming winners, that's Fredericksburg, the 3, and my top pick, which is, we'll call him Sheer Sean, as Pete called them, was, I'm going to show you here right now. Talk about a horse, the old Samantha Perry move, taken to the main track, or taken to a different surface. Just watch him run off in the lane, and I like his speed, which is, I think, going to give him at least, early, it'll give him a little edge on Fredericksburg.
Absolutely. And the good news about him here is he could actually probably get a breather in this one turn mile, because the 7 furlongs could be a really taxing trip. And you look at these fractions, he got it easy, but then he picked it up that second quarter. So once he gets his leads switched here. Does he end up switching leads? I think he does. Yeah, there he goes. He switched it then there under Mika Husbands. But I think he'll actually have an easier go of it. He won't to be as hard used as he is here.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. You can settle a little bit better stretching out to a mile. We've talked time and time again how speed can play, and sprinter route past 5 years, Billy's solid enough, 13%. The wins have been a little slower to come around this year, but after taking a while, he's up to 3 of them now, and I think this one is very, very dangerous right back. I guess Frank's Mimi of we'll call him the proven runners is best.
Yeah. I would hope maybe. I don't know. Changed hands a couple times now. I will say this: if you look at the dirt races, they're not too bad. The sloppy track was one of the best efforts, and that was against a tough group. I think he's found his friends here.
Yeah, I agree with that. The thing that did kind of bug me a little bit was the only real big figure was on the slop.
And maybe he just liked that bit more.
But Steve Caceres off the claim today, kind of goes with the Maryland guy, Jorge Ruiz. So we'll see. Again, we're talking about 2 winners that needed 12.5 to break their maiden. So, I think Frank's Mimi is a player. Yeah. In here to be sure. Let's kick off the late pick 4 in race number 6. We're back on the Tapeta at 5 furlongs. These are 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races. Your tag is 17.5. It's a clean field of 8. We'll take a look at my late pick 4. There was a big scratch just before we came on the air. I've got no opinion in here whatsoever. In race number 7, it's a fun maiden special weight race, and Samantha's going to have to look at these horses because there's a lot to kind of get through and decipher with 2 potentially live horses off long layoffs. I have the 2, though. Take the gold on top. That's going to be a big number in there. I'm going to single now. I'm going to single If Not For Luck with the late scratch of the 5 Panther Island. I think If Not For Luck is going to be tough there. And in race number 9, I've got the 10 and a good one on the turf that Samantha kind of alluded to. She's a hottie on the outside for Ronnie Spat's second time out, 22.50. For me, we've got differing opinions here because I want nothing to do with 3-0, your best bet, but and we'll show it, did have
trouble.
Not a fair go of it last time.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this horse was scratched few weeks ago here because we showed this replay and he didn't get to run here. But this is not a good spot you want to be in, and there were a few moves made that they just didn't really work. He just never could really catch a clear, I don't want to say running room because that wasn't it. It was just never just an open space. A space never opened up a little bit for him here, and it just kind of had to kept grabbing a little bit. And on the Tapeta, you don't want to do that. Anytime you lose a little bit of momentum, it takes twice as much to bring it back.
Yep, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm just stubborn. I'm not picking a horse that's 2 for 34 with 15 underneath finishes. He just doesn't want to win. With all that being said, this is the lowest. This is his group today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If it's not today, I don't know when
I don't
it is
either,
for him, but you're going to get a very short number with Paco getting aboard
Yeah.
here. And, my long shot's in here. It's one of the reasons why I went with a long shot. It's the 6 Can't Know It All. Kelly Breen off the claim, solid enough, 17%. Horse, he's got some upside, and that's kind of what I'm focusing on.
Yeah,
here.
absolutely. Kelly Breen doesn't jump in for a lot of
No.
horses, but he does it well whenever he does. Tactical speed here. Joel Rosario has paired up a few wins for the Kelly Breen barn. Pleasant Embrace was really nice last
Really good,
weekend.
yeah.
So that's just some food for thought. I think it's not a bad thing to be changing hands
Yeah.
against a group like this.
I like Joel getting aboard, too,
Yeah.
because he's as strong a finishing rider as there is. Down on the inside with Rocket Dragon. This is an interesting horse
yeah.
because he's won in his only start here on Tapeta, and they want Irad to ride today coming over from Tampa.
Yeah, when Darian Rodriguez ships a horse
Yes.
over from Tampa, he's very live. He doesn't have a lot of horses. He doesn't have a lot of starters, but he picks his spots very carefully
Yes.
and is very sharp with the condition book and when to ship horses over here.
Yeah, he's a very live and dangerous commodity today. He's going to have to step up a little bit
Yes.
to what we have here at Gulfstream Park. But, yeah, he's not here just to check out Hollandale Beach. Late pick 3 in race number 7. It kicks off with a tricky one. It's a good one. It's a maiden special weight for 3-year-olds and up in here. Clean field of 7. We got comebackers. We've got horses that didn't show up that they paid a lot of money for. And you're on a horse I was really close to picking, and that is Fort Sam, who we haven't seen since the end of July when he was with Norm Cassie, now with Dave Fox, who's done some good work with the Leblongs.
Yep, absolutely. Bleeker's come off too, which is a huge move now as a 4-year-old this year. First time gelding. The lone dirt race on debut wasn't really bet, but that was at Churchill Downs and finished 6th. So beat a few horses home. The works across the main track have been nice. I like when they've been working across this local track at least. And we'll get Paco Lopez aboard. Dave Fox is so good with these types of layoffs too.
Yeah, and Dave works him fast in the morning,
Yes.
but he has been working very, very good. Hasn't really missed
Yep.
anything since he got back going, and I think this is a good spot to maybe be a fresh new face. I'm taking a total stab with the 2 Take the Gold. The race 2 starts back was very, very fast.
Yeah, it really was. The cutback is so key here.
Yeah.
Too. Again, this is a 3-year-old and up race, so the 4-year-olds have an advantage here. So a horse like yours or a horse like mine, that's a big advantage.
And I'm not going to pretend to know a lot about this barn, but the barn is 14%, the Mendieta barn over at Tampa, and that was the first dirt race for the barn where they took the blinkers off. That race could put him right in the mix here.
Yeah, absolutely.
The 2 comebackers now. Well, let's first talk about the 7. You've got Lean Music Machine. This horse is just slow to me,
That's fair.
and they're going to bet this horse because it's Brian Lynch and it's Irad. I mean, not that you picked him on top. We're both kind of willing to be okay trying to beat this horse.
Yeah, I think that the 7 furlong should help a little bit because there's no quick turn of foot from this horse by any means. It's just kind of an even pace. So at least we got a spin over the dirt last time.
Right. The 5 is Sneak Preview. I would assume is going to be a heavy favorite for D'Angelo. Comes back. First time gelding. He's been working big, too.
He has, and I love the fact that they've gelded him. This was
Yeah.
always a pretty big horse. And as far as the comebacks go, the works look good on paper. That 46-4 was not on First TV, so hard to say how he did it. But Jose D'Angelo will work his horses faster. I just think that you have Tyler Gaffleone on the horse. Why not Luis Saez? Why not Irad Ortiz? I don't know.
Doesn't ride a lot for the barn. That's valid.
Yeah.
All right, here's Sansoni, the 4 now. They paid $1.35 million for him. It certainly didn't work out on debut against a good group at Saratoga when he was essentially eased across the line. Here's one of his drills. He's been working very, very forwardly for his return. He's run one time. That was on August 17th at Saratoga. Did you see anything here in the morning or what? I heard he's going to run better today.
Yeah, well, he's got to run better. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But this is the kind of work that you want to see, which when you're doing it easy like this. And he's on the outside. They've got these times mixed up again. This seems to be a pattern with First TV on giving the outside horse the inside work and vice versa. But that was the kind of work you want to see coming into a race like that. You don't want him driving on him. He's obviously developed a bit more now as a 3-year-old. But look at this 3-year-old first time 3-year-olds on the dirt here. Just 2 for 21. Not a big sample, but again, these 3-year-olds, they get some weight, but to me, it's just they're up against it.
Well, not only that, the only time he's ever run was against 2-year-olds at Saratoga. I kind of felt like this was a need one.
Absolutely.
Tighten things for next time, and then maybe we'll get him. But he's got to prove he can even run. I mean, he didn't run 1 inch at Saratoga as part of an entry that was 9-5. By the way, it wasn't like he was 18-1. So we'll see. He's got a lot to prove today. And, tote board race as well. He's supposed to take a few bucks in there. Late double kicks off in race number 8. We're on the Tapeta at 5.5. And what's a starter? Optional claimer here, 4-year-olds and up. The late scratch, it's the biggest one of the day. Yeah. Panther Island comes out of here, the 5. That was kind of late if you didn't catch it earlier. So he's out, Panther Island. I scratched into him. You did not, though. You always had the 4?
Yep, always had the 4 on top. I was trying to go for a long shot here that's out of the water now. But if not for luck, 4 wins, which is good enough for me with 13 starts and very consistent underneath. This horse is just a consistent horse, and I think today it could be his turn. He doesn't want to go 2 turns on the Tapeta.
No. And look at who he was facing in his last 2 Tapeta starts. It's a big drop for this horse. This is a good group today, don't get me wrong, and these are horses that are in good form as well. But when he's coming out of these horsepower Biz Buzz races and things like that,
that's just worlds better.
That's a better group. It's as simple as that. I'll talk Catamosto because we can show you he likes it. He's 3 for 4 on the Tapeta.
He's had a great winter here.
Yep, he really has. We got the good version of him last time. And Seaver, the franchise, is a class dropper last time, and he ran on late. But Catamosto ran well.
He did run really well. And since moving to Florida, he has 3 wins. He's got only 1 race where he was off the board, but he was still a 5th-place finisher. He tries hard.
Yeah, he's a dangerous horse. He's going to be the horse to beat now, especially with Irad getting back aboard. But, again, this is a tougher group today that he's facing. We've got Seaver in the mix. He'll run on for a piece. I want to mention one horse that I think I had him 12-1 on the line or something 2 starts back. They bet him with both hands. Poulin in OT. I don't know if he's fast enough to clear from down there.
Right.
But getting back on the Tapeta, he's interesting.
Yeah, he really is. I don't think he's this type of horse.
That's what I'm kind of banking on.
Yeah, and again, the inside, and it changes quite literally from hours the way the Tapeta plays, but it's not good to be on the inside, at least in this past week here at Gulfstream, I feel like, on the Tapeta.
You know what I thought was weird is that Old Chestnut, obviously Marty Drexler's been down here since the middle of December. You're going to take him to March 19th to get this horse on the Tapeta?
Not a good sign,
Kind of weird,
Yeah,
right?
It is a little bit odd. I agree. Maybe they're just trying something, or you get a race for him, and that was quite literally worlds better than this group. This seems a bit sharp.
Yeah, because he's a Woodbine horse going 6.5 up there at Woodbine on the Tapeta, and that turf race was Pegasus Day. That seems like 3 years ago. So it just seems like he could have been in a spot before now. But in Marty we trust, and he's got his guy Tyler. So we'll see. But I just thought maybe that horse a little bit vulnerable today. The finale's so tricky on the turf at a mile. I didn't mention earlier the rails are at 45 feet here. $50,000 maiden optional claimer here. A clean field of 10 for the fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. And look at our picks. It's that kind of race. They're just all over the place. Park Avenue Betty with her speed and with Irad is going to be a player for sure.
Yeah, and first time in the barn of Danny Gargan. He's popped with a few of these horses like this that they just he moves them into the barn, he breezes them. They're never short horses coming in here. I mean, look at his record, 5 for 19 this championship meet.
Yeah, he's been quiet, but he's also put horses in the right spots,
Yep.
and that's why he's at a high percentage there. She's a hottie for me. It's a stab. She was 25-1 in a turf sprint. It doesn't really look like she wants to turf sprint. Hopefully, Luis Saez can get her over and get some position.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. But Kozan going 2 turns on
Yeah,
the
it's a
grass,
little
not a
iffy.
huge fan.
No, it's a little iffy. The reason why I picked this horse, the reason why I picked Calling the Shots in second, there seems to be, including your horse, a lot of speed in here.
Yeah, that's true. That makes a big difference here. And with the rails at 45 feet, I feel like it's just more. It's still pretty even. Like
Yeah.
31 feet we saw last
Right.
weekend. I feel like it's pretty even playing field.
So Ronnie had British Empress on his ticket,
Yep.
and British Empress ran against Treat Seas Kai. If the latter wins, I'm going to be irritated because I picked her on the
Yeah.
turf when she tried to get there and scratched
It's
out.
scratched.
And now this is a way tougher group.
Yeah.
But they ran well here. This is the December 14th race with British Empress and Treat Seas Kai. And, British Empress, she's a nibbler for Lauren Robson. She's got a couple okay races, but at 0 for 15 when you got 9 underneath finishes, and this is, I feel like a much better group than she's run against.
I like that's such a perfect that's very apt for her. A nibbler.
Nibbler.
She's always picking up a check, and credit to her.
Mm-hmm.
She does it well. There you see Tree sees Kai. Doesn't want to switch leads here, but is running on. But again, just doesn't want to switch leads, which can make a big difference there. But yeah, British Empress, she does her thing. She hangs on. She always, while she gets some good jocks on the horse, if anything. At
Yeah.
least she's got John Velasquez back aboard here as well. So she'll be there. It's almost like you could key her underneath.
Yeah,
I always
oddly
feel like.
enough, she beat everybody but the winner that day. She probably
Yeah.
felt like she did win, but this is it's a tough group
Yeah.
today. Let's take a look at the lightning round before we let you go for the 9-pack here. 25 minutes the first post, but one more Wednesday standings after today, and I promise you nothing will change at the top.
I would fall out of the chair if that happened. And look at that. Irad just keeping on. He could not ride for the rest of the 2 weeks and still be good to go.
I think that's correct. Fun battle for third with our local Edgar Zayas and Luis Saez, former champion, battling that one out. Trainer standings have long been decided as well, but let's just take a look. There's a good battle underneath, though, as Safi's down the road.
Yeah, Safi's down the road, but you look at the second, third, and fourth, heck, even fifth. Victor Barbosa's bringing out some big wins, too, so it's exciting.
I think Victor had 6 wins last year during
Yeah,
the championship.
probably. I think it's remarkable this
He's
year,
had
the stock that he's got, yeah.
Yep, he's had a great meet. The Rainbow, as we mentioned, paid out on Sunday. Thank you to everybody. I think the new money was about $1.39 million, and boy, if you got it, you got healthy, 28,000 and change.
I am shocked at the 28,000. It was really tough.
It was really hard.
Yeah, it was. It was hard to get the seventh race winner. It was hard to get the 8th race winner. It was really hard to get the 6th race winner too. It was just good job if you got this.
Stay Classy was not at the top of the list in the finale
No,
either.
not at all. No, not at all. You
Not
put her
at
in your
all.
ticket though, so
Yeah,
good,
well, I
good
think
on you.
Put everybody in my ticket,
Yeah.
but it didn't matter. Hot dogs here today. Bet $10 and you get a free hot dog. That's what more could you ask for?
You cannot, and only 2 more of those left.
Ooh,
So
that's true.
yeah.
I'm gonna try to test that one per customer today.
All right.
Your best bet 3-0, right?
Yep, 3-0 for me. Yeah.
Earlier on the turf in race number 2 with Apocalyptic for Sweezy and Irad.
My long shot's
Out?
Yeah.
All right. I got one for you, I think,
Good.
today, right? Can't know it all. Should be a
Perfect.
square price
Yeah.
here in race 6 to 6. So that's it for us. 23 minutes to first post. Pete Aiello upstairs.